Hello everybody, Brennan Sweet here with Sweet Financials and Health. I am a specialist in health and financial coaching, which I will be focusing on the financial today, preferably stock trading. And I'm trying to favor uh, the more low end of people that don't have a whole lot of money to start out, because that is a more challenging factor than somebody that has over $30,000 to dump into a stock trading, because then you can day trade or do whatever you want. And you can, even with the smaller amount, you can get gains like I got here. And as you can see, we started out only with a little bit over 800 bucks, and we ended in a 4-day lifespan of the 1020, which was a 25% gain, $200. And if we continue with that huge gain every week, that's actually really good, because your normal 401k is about an average 10% gain. So given that calculation, we basically blew that out of the water, and the better you get, you can actually get even bigger gains. And what I'm going to go over in this video is how to structure some of your trades, so that way, even though when you get some big losses, as you can see, the first day I actually lost 33%, and that was over $270. And then we actually ended in the day with a gain of 18%. So we will go over some trades. I will show you what I'm looking for each day and how to set yourself up for learning this stock trading business and getting your small gains each day. So stay tuned. This is going to be a good video. Okay, so there we are. This was my last day. If we go into the more closer look in the day, my last day I actually was in the negative again, and I actually more kind of broke even Friday. There was a couple points where I could have sold, but I was actually waiting for certain stocks to get at a point, and I actually did get a nice gain, although you can't see it here, because that's why I got this buying power still, because I actually did a nice sell where I was in a profit of over 20%. And then you can see here, even though I kind of broke even at my $0, actually that's the after hour, sorry. So I was still at a slight loss at the end, even though my week was very profitable, but that is because of these two markets. And yes, this Piton call did go up recently. I was at a 70% decline, and that is because the stock recently, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we had a huge upward shot for like 2 days in a row, and then it's been slowly declining to correct itself again. And then I'm anticipating for the next big jump where we will be making another profit. And I don't really worry about this loss right now, because if you look at the expiration date, it is till next year. And if we dive a little deeper into Peloton and actually go into the regular stock, I want to show you the longer forecast, if you actually look at the 5-year, you can see it better, because if you look at the year, it just looks like it's just plummeting. Like we are 76% loss. But that's good, because I'm looking for that potential of a gain. I don't know if I'll hold the whole way up. I'll probably trade a little bit on my way up again whenever it does decide to go up. But as you can see, the low was at, when we initially started the stock, was 27.83, and it had a little drop, so our lowest setting was about $19.72. So if we go over here, the current price, as you can see, it's at 28, which is about the starting, and it actually plummeted down to roughly, this ain't 100% accurate doing it this way, but this is like a rough view. It went down to 24.60. So as you can see, we're basically around this range where we were before, and you can actually see how it was lower, and then it's starting to work its way up. And I'll show you in the trading view as well. Actually, let's go ahead and do that now. Let me switch over to my Peloton, and I'll drag that over. So I'm gonna pull this over, and I like when the trading view, let me actually move my big head out of the way, and we'll shrink it up some so you can actually see what's going on here. So I like putting little lines like this, and that line is actually showing you a good average. If I zoom out real far, I think I was actually using the day or week chart, and I was actually showing you how in the beginning, see how it's right at the top at the beginning, and it keeps wrapping around this average. So this is really the bottom average that we're doing, and it's doing the same thing over here. It's starting to wrap around it and bounce off of that. And I also marked this high because this is where we were capitalizing at on many factors. We did bust through a little bit here, and it came back down, and you can see this was the 2-day gain. We had a huge gain, and then it corrected itself back down. And I'm not really pressed on the current loss because I'm pretty sure it's gonna start gaining again, and it's been starting to gain again here. Will it continue? I don't know. That's why I got the year. It don't expire for a year till next year for my call. As you can see, January 20th, 2023. So I got plenty of time for it to bounce up and down and do whatever it wants to do. And whenever it, for me, the way I trade, once I get another huge gain like so, then I will actually sell it for a couple $100 profit again, since I only got a small account. If I had a bigger account, obviously I'd have more than just 3 contracts like I got. I would probably have like 10, 20, or 100. And that's where I'd be getting thousands of dollars profit instead of hundreds of dollars. So the more money you have, the more of the contracts you can actually buy. And this is option trading. If you don't want to do options, you just buy the stock and sell it the same way. It's actually more beneficial buying the stock and selling it, because with the options, sometimes you get jammed up. As you can see, I actually have to input my sell, and this is the range. And a lot of times if I want to dump this stock right away, I would have to sell it at the higher or lower end. See, if I want to buy it right now, I would have to buy it at 67 cents, because that's what our askers are doing, is 67 cents. And there's a lot of people bidding for it lower than what it's at now, which is 59. But sometimes if you've got a really tight limit, which this one's not too bad, but you have some that are tighter, which would only be like a couple cents difference, it's a little easier to get in at a good price. So you really want to check your range on your options on where your bid and ask price are. But I won't get into option trading too much on this video. I'm just trying to show you some key pointers to look at, which is what I was showing you. When you look at the regular stock, you can go through the different charts, so you can see in the week it came down, but it's starting to bounce and go up. In the month, you saw it skyrocketed for a couple days and it dropped back down, but now it looks like it might be leveling off and starting to go up again, which is what I'm predicting. And the further we go out, we get a better view of it. Kind of leveled off and shot up and then came up and leveling off again above our previous lows. So as you can see, it looks like the stock is actually starting to curve up like it's doing, and it's at the previous, a little bit above the previous lows, and we're actually around the starting range. Now, that's not saying the stock can't go down further. That has happened, so don't be discouraged. And that's why because we're in a aggressive downward trend in this stock, so we gotta plan carefully in a downward trend for an upward trend, because it could reverse, and it just like this, it could go up and reverse and just plummet again. So we have to plan for that and be prepared for that. So sometimes when you get a nice gain, like if you bid in here and you sold up here, that's good. And then you just wait, and you could have bid in again when it started to shoot up, but as soon as you saw it dropping again, got out. So you want to plan for it to plummet, because we are in a downward trend. It's different if we were on this side. We are actually in a upward trend. So if we're planning for a call or an increase in the stock, we most likely will get it, even if you had a temporary drop, or like here had a temporary drop. You just hold the stock and then it go back up. But you got to be careful of hitting the peak like here, because then you're just in a serious downward and you're gonna lose a lot of money. So I'm more gearing this towards I do swing trading and day trading. So if you want to learn swing trading and day trading, I got you. I will do videos on my website. If you go to Sweet Financials and Health, I actually will start putting some videos down here that you could buy at a really cheap price and be very informational. Or you can even follow my YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram. I post a lot of stuff on there. If you actually scroll down, as you can see my Instagram, I post a lot of information on here. And I've really been on a standby for the last 2 months because I had a newborn. So I will be starting to post some more on there now. And here you can find a quick link to my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or even YouTube, which you're probably watching now. So if you like and subscribe, I will be posting videos on a weekly basis. As I said, I mainly focus on financial and health because those are the biggest problems in the world today. We got so many people unhealthy in the world and so many people in financial debt. Even our government is in financial debt, and with this war going on in Ukraine and Russia, could even get worse, because war is not a good money maker, although there are stocks that you could probably make some money in. War is very bad, and it destroys the economies worldwide, so we really need to watch out. But again, that's Sweet Financials and Health.com. So if you want to keep learning, I will be posting different strategies, and check out my YouTube and Instagram, because I will post different strategies, even on TikTok, some videos on different ways to trade. If you're doing long-term trading, I'll tell you right now, it really doesn't matter where you buy in, because if we go to Peloton's a little bit newer of a stock, but if we went to even Bitcoin, if we went over a 5-year time period, even though you get these like high peaks and it drops, you're always continuously on a upward trend. So if you're doing long-term trading, even if you bought it on a high by accident, you just hold the stock, because stocks are more meant for long-term investing. So in the long term, as you can see, even though I would have had a loss for a few years, I actually had a huge gain. So I bought in at 16,000. Say I bought one at 16,000, and then shoot, over the few years, oh my God, I lost almost $13,000 just with that one coin. But if I held and kept holding, I actually got up to here, almost $60,000 profit, where I about tripled my money. Actually, almost quadrupled my money. And then you might get scared again. Oh no, it's dropping. But then it comes back up, and then it's doing the same thing. Oh no. But see, I'll make another video on Bitcoin and crypto later. But this could go two different ways. Right now, it's looking good. If you do the year chart, see that our current peaks right here is where we're zooming in for the year. We're actually still in a good situation, because the current low was 30,000 and we didn't even hit that. We're actually over our previous low. So if we actually do zigzag lines, we actually never got below our previous low, and we have a higher high, which is good indication of it continuing upwards. But if we go into some more on our trading view, I can map out some figures where it does have the potential of coming down further, but we've been at an aggressive upward trend, so most likely it will continue its upward trend, but there's always the chance of it having a huger downward trend, because you're always trying to stocks are always trying to balance themselves out. But it is very popular. We have a lot of people promoting it. I do think Bitcoin and other things like this will be the future. We're getting more technology advanced, so I do think they are worth your time and effort to look into or invest in a little bit. But I do consider some of them high risk, so I wouldn't put your life savings in there. I would never put my life savings in stocks, but I would put some heavy investments in. So whatever uh, proportion of your investing that you can afford, I would definitely put a nice percentage in stocks, in crypto, and in other stocks. I wouldn't favor one or the other. I like them both, and I would invest in both. Uh, right now, I think crypto's a little more high risk because we're not exactly sure, like I said, if it's going to continue its uptrend or come down. But right now is a good time to buy in, because even if it did go down, as I said, I don't think it'll go down too much more, and you'll have a higher high at the end where you'll make huge profits. Okay, so, and we can actually go into, let's actually go to my profile again, and let's even look at like AMC. So, AMC is an example of a downward trend stock, but as you can see, during the hype and everything, it did have a huge increase, and that happens a lot. AMC is a pretty popular stock, and actually if we go in here to finance Yahoo, so we can get a bigger so I actually want to go in here, go into my max. As you can see, we're actually breaking even. From 2013. So you got almost a 10-year chart here. But that's a perfect example of a stock that is actually more in a downward trend. It did climb and it was holding, but it was dying. And then we had a huge gain, but it's coming back down because the stock's more in a downward trend. Now, could it reverse and have another spike? Yes. The stock market's crazy. There's a lot of influence with politics, or even people just trying to buy a bunch of stocks and shoot the price up. And then there's been a lot of restrictions with that. There's a lot of little things with social media and groups. So there's a lot of influences that could push it back up. Do I trust this stock? No. I personally don't go in this stock. I did trade a little bit, but normally I was actually betting against it when it had this spike. I was betting for a put for it to drop, and of course it didn't. It shot up a lot more than I thought it would, but that's life, you know. Now if I would have did more of a long-term put, I actually would have made out really good, but that's a risk if you want to hold on to it. If you really believe in something, do a longer option. So you do a longer put, or even a longer call, like I did on the Peloton, because I have a lot of faith in Peloton that it will shoot back up again. Currently, as you can see, the pre-market, it's going to the 15-minute, we are actually in a slight decline, and as you can see, the charts, each hill is actually getting lower, so we're probably going to get a drop again, but I don't think it's going to go past my previous lows here. We're probably just going to come down here again, and then it's going to shoot up. And once we start making past this moving average, we got the 200-day moving average, and we also got the 20-day moving average, and we use these for good indications of when the stock's gonna be shooting. And normally what I'll do is a 3-minute. So at the 3-minute we can actually see when our moving averages actually cross each other going up. That is a good indication to buy and get a small profit. But normally when it's really far, when your candles are far away from your moving average, that is a key indication of it pulling back like it did. And we were hoping for a continuation, but as I said, it's in a downward trend, which it's making, so most likely we will be going down again here. But I'm hoping it holds above my indicator right here, and that means it'll probably bounce and continue going up. And this is a better spot to look at it. As you can see, it's breaking through the averages. The averages meet. It has a little pullback and shoots up. Touches the average again, shoots up. And that's where we get our peak. And when it crosses the average, that's when we start our downward trend. And it continues down that average for downward trend. So, like I said, if you're looking for good entry points to day trade or swing trade, that's what you're looking for. You're either trying to catch it towards the end of the day or the midday, say around 12 o'clock, or at the end of the day close to 4 p.m. for it to have a nice get a nice put up and pull back, and it's heading towards these two moving averages, and you want to buy in around here because you're predicting the next day for it to fire up and hold, and you can sell. Or if you're doing a day trading, if this was one single day, you just buy in when it hits the average again and starts moving back up. You get this nice green, as you can see, you get a nice green push, so you'd buy back in, and then or you could even wait till the moving averages actually touch, and you get a little pullback and you get a solid green again, and you'll get a nice gain. And you can wait for it to actually start crossing the moving average again and sell it right here. So even if I bought here or here, I would have had good profits selling at this location. And even sometimes it does go in the red and hook back up. Usually that's towards the end. You don't always get really good indicators of the drop, but if you're looking at like your RSI, you can see as we progress, we broke through again. So when we're riding at this high amount, breaking through the 70% of our RSI, usually eventually we're going to have a drop like we did. And as you can see, when you hit below this 30% of the RSI, as we ride it, once it starts breaking through above it again, that's when we get our upward trend again. So you could wait for the RSI to go below 30 and wait for your opportunity to buy back in again, and you can day trade and swing trade like that as well. These are good indicators to follow, and you want to definitely watch some videos on trading using this if you're going to day trade and swing trade, because these are very helpful. So you always want to look for your moving averages as long as your RSI, and you definitely want to pay attention to your candles. And then I also got down here, as you can see, your peaks. As my if my peaks keep growing, I know it's on a upward trend still, so I can stay in it. And then when I actually started getting a lower than that higher high, that was a good indicator of it starting to drop down. As you can also see with the RSI, this was the highest peak, and then this one was actually slightly lower, which is another indication of a possible reversal. These aren't always guaranteed, because sometimes you'll get fake ones and then it'll just keep skyrocketing. And it's pretty much the opposite if you're doing a downward trend. So these are just good basic breakdown of things to look for. I will go into more detail on other videos, and I actually will start doing some educational videos on my website, sweetfinancialsandhealth.com, which will go even greater detail, and you can save that for lifetime, and it will actually I do like a basic breakdown because I only got so long for these YouTube channels. I try not to make them too long. My TikToks are going to be even shorter. So please subscribe and like. I'll keep making them 100% free. And then if you want even greater detail, just keep an eye on my website, because I will, once I start finishing some of these, I will get into really good detail and actually go through a bunch of trades with you to help guide you into constant profits, because I want everybody to succeed and make some money. If you liked it, please like, subscribe to me, and I'll see you in the next video. Infinite wealth and infinite love for everybody. Have a great day.